most electric cars should and are charged at home from the normal domestic supply socket.
I'm fortunate enough to have Jens Denk in the building, and also we share the complex, so he's our neighbor. So we've been very neighborly. He's actually been such a great neighbor, and he's been so gracious. So this morning we thought, why not have our favorite neighbor in studio? He's bringing the electric vehicle revolution to Namibia, and it really is here to stay. It is the future. So it is interesting to own one of these babies that is on the ride. And I'm telling you personally, I was in the passenger seat. I would have loved to be in the driver's seat. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge to Jens there. It's such a smooth ride, really. The company also recently installed the country's first public fast charging station at the mall, that is at Grove Mall. And to tell us more about the difference between petrol or diesel powered vehicles and an electric vehicle, and what such a vehicle has to offer in Namibia, we have Jens here. Jens, welcome.
Thank you so much for the invite, and it's good to be here with our fellow believers. E-mobility is here to stay, definitely. It's a great revolution that's sweeping the world at the moment. And we in Namibia are fortunate enough that we have a few of these vehicles available. We've already imported about 50 of them.
No.
Yep. So it's really growing. So there's three believers driving around in Swakopmund, and the rest of them are here in Windhoek. The UNDP has also been involved in a project with the Leafs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I actually did not know that we were at that number.
Yep.
I really didn't. So how has the uptake of electric vehicles been now in Namibia?
Actually, I must say it's been fantastic.
Okay.
The kind of like the awakening, if I want to call it that, people are becoming aware that there is locally an alternative, so that you don't that you're not forced to pay the high prices, especially for local transport in and around Windhoek with the current models that we bring in.
Yeah.
So people are waking up to the idea that you can use the sun to pay for your transport.
And if there's one thing that really woke us up to the alternative, it's the rise of fuel prices.
Yep.
And how has that now affected the business? Have you seen a surge in interest?
Yes, definitely. We have seen a surge in interest, and it's kind of like that with the petrol price and diesel price. It's kind of like the government will never put it up by $5 because they'd have a riot on their hands.
Of course.
So they go in increments of painfulness. So
torture and torment.
Yeah. So kind of like they push it to the threshold of pain, where most people say,
I can't.
I can't anymore.
Yeah.
And then a week or two later, you've become accustomed to it.
True.
And you carry on again. So it's literally when the petrol price goes up, or when the announcement takes place.
Yes.
It's those next 5 to 10 days that we get this influx of inquiries.
Yeah.
And then after that, it kind of like dies down again.
Yeah.
So
because we've acclimatized now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But with that, I think the number one thing that I was concerned about personally was the process of acquiring and getting an electric vehicle, especially dealing with the charging ports and the range of vehicles. Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, okay. So generally what most people are unaware of is that most electric cars should and are charged at home from the normal domestic supply socket. Now, obviously, a Tesla from a standard supply socket here in Namibia would probably take about 48 hours to fill up.
Okay.
So it's the kind of thing that you would use the charger, obviously have a fixed home charger installed for a bigger vehicle. But for the Nissan Leaf, for instance, it's only got a 24 kilowatt hour battery when it's new. So generally, by the time we get them landed here, they've got about 15 to 18 kilowatt hours left in capacity. And the charger that you get with the vehicle for domestic charging is at about 3.5 kilowatts per hour. So kind of like 5 to 6 hours is what it would take you to charge the car at home. Generally, most people, just when they get home in the evening, they plug the car in, either set the timer or plug it in just straight. And then when you wake up in the morning, the electric tank is full and off you go.
Okay, so what you're trying to tell me is that right now, if Simangile Chamalala is going to own, because I am, my own electric, little kit. Remember the kit back in the day? No?
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
guys, look at them, look at the young boys.
They're blank.
Night Rider.
They're totally blank. they didn't grow up with Airwolf and Knight Rider and those things.
I even remember the theme song. If I am to have my own little kit, what do I need to install my own charger, or can I still charge it at your station?
Okay, so basically the charging that happens at home is from a normal domestic socket. If you wanted something a little bit stronger, then you would upgrade the charger on the Leaf, and you would upgrade your domestic charger. So generally speaking, you're still covered from charging from home.
Okay. So what do I need? Do I need like a special? This is mind you, Ian. Sorry, you're talking to an absolute novice who knows nothing about this. So this is electric vehicles for dummies. So what will I need? Will I need like a plug, a specialized plug, or what is it really that can make it possible for me to charge it at home?
Okay, so generally the charger that comes with it because they used vehicles from Japan, so they have the Japanese socket on it. So we modify it to the local 3-pin socket. What we also advise is often people don't have a plug near the car because they're not used to this kind of thing. So we extend the cable a little bit, add an extra 5 meters. So the total length of the cable is normally 7 to 10 meters after it's been extended with a 3-pin wall socket. The common domestic wall socket, like you would use your kettle.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so generally any socket that can handle a kettle, we should be able to handle your electric car.
Because I was thinking, because my family's from Katima. I was like, if I want an electric vehicle, can I even reach Katima? You know what I mean? So along the way, there will be possibilities of charging.
Yeah. However, with the Leaf, it would take you. Let me calculate this quickly. Probably take you about a week to get there, because you'd have to drive 100 k's, charge for 5 hours, drive another 100, charge for 5 hours, and So generally, at the present moment, what we're advocating is people to change their run-around vehicle, their town and around vehicle, to electric, because the charging infrastructure is still coming to Namibia.
Great.
And so when we talk about charging infrastructure, we're talking about the fast charger similar to the one that we've installed at the Grove. And then obviously from 20 to 80% you're charging within 20 minutes.
Nice.
So that's a real quick and easy. So basically with the 40 kilowatt hour Leaf, you would drive about 200 kilometers.
Okay.
Now generally it's not mandated for cars yet, but all truck drivers are forced to stop every 2 hours and have a break.
Yeah.
And us as motorists, we kind of like just get in the vehicle and we just drive until we're pooped.
Which is so dangerous as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something that's coming, where people are going to get into the habit of stopping every 2 hours, taking a toilet break, coffee break, whatever it may be.
Rest break.
By the time you got back to the car, you've got enough charge to more than reach your next charger. And so that's a thing that people will get used to in the future.
No, definitely, it is a work in progress.
Yes.
Let's talk about some of the charging posts you have. I know there's one at the Grove. Is there one at the coast? And I know there's some in Windhoek.
Unfortunately, not. There is, for instance, our charger at the Grove. Has CCS2 now. There's about 4 or 5 different charging protocols through the world. You get a CHAdeMO, which is a fast charging. It's mainly for Japanese vehicles. Then you have the GBT, which is a Chinese charger. You have the Tesla charger, CCS2, which combines Type 2 charging with fast charging. And then you have Type 1, which the Leaf is also. So the Leaf has got dual sockets. It's got the CHAdeMO and the Type 1. And then most other vehicles have got the Type 2. So for instance, your VW ID3 and Renault Zoes and those kind of things normally have the CCS2, which is a combined charging system, CCS. And so on the top of the socket you have the normal Type 2 connector, and underneath you have the DC connector, which does your fast charging. The current charger at the Grove has CCS2 and CHAdeMO, so it does the Leafs and the ID3s. There is a charger in Brahms Street, I think it is somewhere. If you Google it, you'll see. And this guy's got basically an AC fast charger. It's similar to the charger that's installed at BMW.
Ooh, fancy schmancy. Finally, how do we get in touch with Electric Vehicle Namibia? For those that are like, oh, okay, I didn't know this was possible. How do they get in touch? And how do we get to driving using solar power?
Okay. All right. So, well, anyway, you can call or Google us at ev-nam.com. And 081 3055 372 is our number. You can call us. And if you want to come and visit our showroom and workshop, it's at number 37 Hypermotor City, just around the corner from Tribe Fire Studios, where we are now. And if nobody knows where Hypermotor City is, that's near Arc Trading and Ferreira's Garden Centre. You turn into Maxwell Street and then left into Hypermotor City, and it's where you will find us.
Jens, thank you so much for coming. And also thank you so much for borrowing Mo, because he's in desperate need of an electric vehicle. And as soon as I'm gonna be one of those as on some driving fast in the fast lane. Well, I'll be responsible in my electric vehicle. I will be, I promise. So thank you, Jens, for coming.
Thank you for the invite, and thanks, guys. Cheers.
And that was Jens Denk, who's bringing the electric vehicle revolution to Namibia. So like I said, he's just here, just around the corner. Call us if you need directions. And once you visit, his shop, also feel free to pop on in right here by Tribe Fire Studios. Would love to have you and, supply you with a little bit of coffee and some nice ambiance. The office is really nice and welcoming. So he is at number 37 in Hypermotor City Complex.